Rieccoci ragazzi, bentornati a tutti sul canale di Nico in Game. Ora che Hans Capon è finalmente libero, ce lo siamo levati dalle palle, infatti ora è al sicuro, dovrebbe essere al sicuro, quindi spero che non si metta nuovamente nei guai. Noi dobbiamo andare avanti, abbiamo un compito molto delicato da svolgere. Ci stiamo dirigendo dal cameriere perché dobbiamo infiltrarci al consiglio cittadino e per farlo dobbiamo spacciarci per il cameriere. Quindi stiamo andando da lui, che dovrebbe essere qua nei paraggi, per prendergli l'attestato. Se non erro ci avevano detto che dovrebbe essere qui nei pressi del mercato. Allora, siamo nella zona di ricerca, sì, ma il cameriere dovrebbe essere la C. Potrebbe essere lui.
Greetings. I'd like to... Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here.
Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Lo farò io.
Supposing I took the job
Subito
on for
schietti,
you.
ragazzi.
You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Porto notizie per il re. Sì.
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Allora, abbiamo avuto a che fare con i vini, ragazzi, però non ricordo assolutamente nulla. Vabbè, sì, dai, diciamo di sì.
Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You'd better not.
Beh, ragazzi, questa è fatta. È stato più semplice del previsto, a dire la verità. Cambiamoci subito. Allora, togliamo questo. Beh, gli stivali ce li teniamo, ovviamente. Tutte queste cose sarebbe meglio toglierle. Anche la corazza. La cintura. Vabbè, forse così siamo più credibili. Sono il nuovo cameriere reale.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
Sta male.
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing. Spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure.
Sì.
Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good.
A
It's a
posto?
good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Voglio imparare. Sì, sì.
I'm no greenhorn. I have plenty of
Abbiamo una grandissima
Not
esperienza.
long ago, I poured wine for the Archbishop of Mainz.
Oh, I see. Forgive me. But allow me to give you one piece of advice. Sir Adam of Zargitz will be among the guests. Don't pour wine for him. Otherwise he'll get drunk and disgrace us all in front of the king. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Ho capito tutto.
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
Sì, 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 sì.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Consiglio cittadino di Kuttenberg mattina. Ragazzi, dai, cerchiamo di andare un po' alla svelta, perché tanto se le cose devono andare storte, andranno storte. Eccoci. Servi consiglieri.
Our current Waffenarsenal is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning
a full
from
cup of
it.
monastery wine.
Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing.
Come now, waiter.
That
I wanted
Hacken-
red.
apologise, sir.
Hand
Which one?
cannon.
Monastery
Can you believe
red.
it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since
Come
you're
glielo
a
osservo,
gunsmith.
scusate?
What are you implying, Fried?
Sì, ma non ti posso... Come... Ragazzi, c'è un problema.
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is.
Non so come servire il vino. Non me lo fa servire.
Will not be here forever.
I'd like some monastery wine.
Shut up!
Refill my
The
cup,
king
boy.
can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest
sorry,
silver
sir.
heap in the kingdom.
Orders
and we're
from
supposed
above.
to defend
This
it
is
with
unbelievable.
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
Vabbè, noi
rules.
siamo
Always
qua solo per
confiscate property of the
origliare.
king's enemies. Nicht
Però non
wahr?
capisco perché non mi fa versare il vino nelle coppe.
And the king is surely aware of it as
Waiter,
well.
pour me red
Maybe
wine.
if he waived some of the
I
taxes.
apologise, sir.
The king fears
Which
that
one?
this town will rise against him.
Monastery red.
He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just
Ah,
sit with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc
Well,
all around?
Thank the
We
Lord.
can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
Waiter, get me white.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should
Sorry,
be.
sir.
The current baths in
Orders
the
from
city
above.
fall
This
far
is
short,
unbelievable.
covering all the citizens' needs.
But we have another bathhouse.
Che fai? Butti la roba in terra.
My friend Adam from the baths in Haradek district told me about it. He says it's filthy.
Nonsense.
More
He's
wine,
just envious.
Master Bailiff?
Bet
I
he
have
sees
enough
the
wine.
opportunity
Come
and
closer.
people are lining up to bathe there.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Dove trovo il
Where
calice?
can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
Black Death. A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spend. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how
Questo.
is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're
He's
always
silver like this
arguing
big.
about the same thing.
I'm sorry. Not at all. If you'd finally admit...
So, did you find it?
I did,
Sì.
Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree.
Comunque aveva ragione quel ragazzo, è una palla colossale stare qua.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know,
I
Gunslin
fancy some
absolutely
Tokai.
hates him.
Refill, boy.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no
I
damage.
apologize, sir.
Ulrich,
Which
what
one?
have you got to say about it?
Tokai.
Bianco.
I'm not sure what you're...
Allora,
I'm speaking about the
sarà
Rudyard
questo?
incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that.
Sì.
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me.
Sir?
Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his
Well,
men attacked
thank the
yours,
Lord.
as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Sir?
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly
Thank you, waiter.
exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he
You
puts
there,
an end
lad.
to us
A
first.
cup of bread.
God
And don't
knows
you
what he
skimp
wants
on
to
me.
tell us.
If nothing
Aspetta,
happens,
aspetta.
there's no point in
Prendo la
telling
brocca.
me. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling
Monastery
us the whole
wine.
truth, Ulrich?
Here.
Are you accusing
Sir?
me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend.
Well, thank the
Nobody
Lord.
said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman
Hey,
from the
boy,
city's
a
sword
full
fighting
cup of
school
monastery
brought this custom
wine.
to us. It's now run by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
I apologize, sir. Which wine?
Red! Am I speaking in
E stai calmo.
Sir?
Con me ti devi comportare bene.
Don't hang around me. Vanish!
Ma minchia, ti lancio la brocca in
So you
testa.
will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff.
Hey,
and that's
boy,
that.
a word.
There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing
Everything in
than the
order?
open
Not
contempt
quite,
of the whole
But I
town
think you might be
garrison.
able to help
The
me.
guards
Come
are
here.
apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
Vado a prendere, dai.
I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
Never get anywhere like
Sono
this.
tutti odiosi qua,
I better leave the wine here.
Ah sì, è vero, giusto. Allora, pigliamo i guanti.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Minchia, ma che palle. Allora. 2 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 Qua ce n'è qualcuna? Contano anche questi? Ma non lo so. Vabbè, ma chi se ne frega. Tieni i guanti.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
Ce ne sono 16, ah.
I counted 16.
Diciamo
And
16.
did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
Ma vattene a fanculo. Mi fai perdere un sacco di tempo.
They are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to mock a
Hey,
royal mining
waiter!
city. Why can't
Pour
we
me
build
something
faster?
hot.
Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on?
Sarebbe il bianco.
Are the experts from far off supposed
I
to be
apologize,
city
sir.
under siege?
Which wine?
Besides,
Colorblind
I get
white!
the feeling there's something other than the
Sir?
welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you?
You, lad!
And what
You
would
look
that be?
familiar to me.
Like, for instance,
Have we met?
that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Well, naturally.
Hold your horses,
I go
gentlemen.
to your tavern almost
That
every day.
space in the side
Really?
lift is mine.
Then hell
You must
freezes
have
over, my
decent
friend.
wages.
Ah, ma
to be
sì, lo
able to
conosciamo a
visit
lui.
every
Steps
town
behind mine.
regularly.
A swordsmith dares to insult me?
Lo conosciamo, ragazzi, sì, sì.
I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my
Waiter,
seat for the
pour me
services
red wine.
our guild provided.
Che palle.
Still provides to the crown.
Well,
E chi vuole il bianco e chi vuole il rosso.
if that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse
Waiter,
Lordpink.
I
What
wanted monastery
ne'er-do-wells?
wine.
Those wrestlers upstairs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Good. Now run along.
L'abbiamo buttato fuori, ma vabbè.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Quanto ancora deve durare sta noia?
What do we have to discuss next?
Ragazza, lei non sta proprio facendo un cazzo, eh.
Hey, waiter, pour me some Takai. Boy, are you deaf or something? Why? White. Thank you, waiter.
Oh,
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
se lui ci riconosce alla fine.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of false!
In quel momento nella fortezza che succede? Non ditemi che torniamo nei panni di Godwin.
Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject.
Chi è il francese?
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom.
Sì, certo. Io ho dei dubbi. Sei troppo credulone, Capon.
Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
Cosa farei adesso?
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake
Insomma, la solita roba.
and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Conosci qualcuno degli ospiti?
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Gutenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Ok, allora.
How are things, my boy?
Presentiamoci.
I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with.
Lui è il francese,
We don't know each other.
il nuovo amico di Capon.
Chevalier d'Arezzo, the last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Sei anche un raccontaballe.
And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
Il piacere è tutto tuo.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
Come siete finiti a Maleshov?
How did you end up imprisoned in Maleshov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gutenberg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
Illuminatemi.
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh? I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Maleshov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted, but they never broke my spirit.
Com'è che non vi conosciamo?
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Boemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Vabbè, vado via.
What can I get for you?
Non perdiamo troppo tempo con questo raccontapalle. Balle. Allora.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
La sua calma e il suo modo di parlare è estenuante. E siete qui per affari?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here, than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other.
Sì, ci siamo conosciuti.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
Infatti. Andreste d'accordo.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Ser Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Preferisco non bere. Sì, abbiamo un problemino, con l'alcol.
Better communion wine than kosher, is it?
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
We'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
Di cosa si tratta?
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change
E quale sarebbe questa tua idea?
I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
Sigismondo se la farà sotto. E se lo provocassimo?
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Perché fate tutto questo?
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths, and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
Cosa dovrei fare esattamente?
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Ok.
Get on it then. Wish me luck.
Ma sono qui nei
Wish
paraggi.
us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Ma sì, dai.
Success to our plans.
Ah sì, dai, che ci farà mai? Un boccale di vino. Ottieni il sostegno di Anno, ottieni il sostegno di Aman e ottieni il sostegno di Boschket. Allora,
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek, and he's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
ah, noi siamo qua. Perché ci odiano tutti? Anche al covo del diavolo non sono molto felici di noi. Vabbè.
Even Bocek, and he's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
Martin, like...
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
Chiedo scusa.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
Sono un emissario.
I came with a delegation from Ser Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
Esagerate come sempre.
You're exaggerating. Like
Non è molto orgoglioso di noi.
Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Accetto.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle.
Insomma, ragazzi, a Goodwin lo odiano. Oh, aspetta, dammi un attimo. Lo odiano tutti in famiglia. Fratello, hai sfidato l'uomo sbagliato.
Who told you that?
You don't know which end of that thing is up.
Sacre! You're fast.
Cover your right side. You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through. What's wrong with your legs? Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
Aia, madonna.
You never saw that coming. Hey, who told you that?
Stand firm. Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse.
Cazzo.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword.
Ah, ti arrendi? Sono anzianotto, ma ci so fare.
My God, where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could teach sword fighting in a school.
Sono stato in guerra.
I was in a war, right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
È sempre stato così.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Che bastardo.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Devo portarlo dalla nostra parte.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then.
D'accordo, sì.
You've heard Job's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Mi piace molto viverla nei panni di Godwin, ragazzi. È un personaggio molto interessante, veramente tanto. A dire la verità, non mi dispiacerebbe per niente se approfondissero di più la sua vita passata, quello che ha fatto, eccetera. Magari anche con un DLC. Comunque dobbiamo parlare con Botsket. Eccolo qui.
Sir Bojack, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Ma non siamo dalla stessa parte?
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Sì.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Che ne dite del giovane Ser Capon? Non lo so.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
Capon invece?
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
Gitka non vorrà sposare un vecchio.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Leipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Quindi sosterrete il nostro piano?
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save
Non so se Capon sarà d'accordo.
Forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Aia.
A nightingale.
Dai, glielo diciamo. Togliamoci il dente.
Let's hear it then.
Il giovane Capon si sposa.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Buchek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Buchek of Kunstadt? The Buchek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it.
È contento.
So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
È contento, ragazzi, della notizia, però Capon non sa ancora nulla.
What about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself.
Sì, pensaci tu, va. Forse è meglio. No, basta.
I'll take that personally.
No, scusa, ma è meglio non bere troppo. Tutto a posto, eh? Sì, ha accettato subito, era entusiasta.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstadt.
Probabilmente Capon sarà meno entusiasta, però se ne farà una ragione. Grazie, ma non berrò.
Thank you, but I'd rather not drink. The evening has just begun.
Ciao. Ok, dunque adesso c'era una terza persona con cui dovevamo parlare. O mi sbaglio? Sì, ottiene il sostegno di Anna. Anna dov'è? Anna dove sta, ragazzi? Perché non me la indica? Vi prego, non fatemi girare a vuoto così, dai. Magari non sta qua, magari mi devo spostare. No, sta per forza qui, ragazzi, che cazzo? fammi passare, porca miseria. Ah, eccola.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yod's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Siete ben informata, mia signora.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Allora siete nel posto giusto.
And you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Avete denaro, ma siete anche saggia.
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason.
Ecco, che favore.
In return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Volete che derubi un alleato?
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
Vabbè, dai, sì. Proviamo. Questa qui...
Alder will
Lo so,
surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Proviamoci.
Take a look at that.
Ah, a posto ragazzi, fatto. Fatto ragazzi, è stato un attimo. Lo stagliere era distratto.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
Pensavo sarebbe stata più complicata,
You're more
però
capable than I expected.
per nostra fortuna ci è andata bene.
And now you're part of the bargain.
Sì, infatti.
I will support Liechtenstein's
Ci sosterrai?
both
Perfetto.
words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain.
No, non bevo.
I'd like to, but I'm afraid I've had more than my fill already. I wouldn't want to cause a scandal.
Wise. No matter, I shall drink a toast alone. But to your health.
A posto, ragazzi.
I'm still... Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
Ottime notizie,
I
direi.
bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Ne è rimasto scioccato.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Dopo questa notizia le cose sono tre, ragazzi. O Capon si dà alla fuga, o metterà la testa a posto una volta che si sposa, oppure farà qualche pazzia.
Than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Bergow did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see? All you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But, unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry.
Con molto piacere, mio re.
With our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine.
Vino del monastero.
The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of
Mi sa che ho sbagliato.
mercenaries. They cannot be relied upon.
Mi sa che il vino del monastero è quello rosso. Cazzo.
You don't. Can't you tell white from red?
Well, no matter. At least
Sì, ho sbagliato, ragazzi.
If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Ottorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
Sì, sì, subito.
Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to...
Non facciamo saltare la copertura. Abbiamo avuto del tempo per distinguere i due vini. Però mi sono distratto.
And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret.
Bevi, bevi, bevi.
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king. You did a good job, waiter. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Bergow and his men set out for Rabor. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is.
È rosso sia.
Reporch falls.
I think von Bergow's little contraption will find its use again.
Bianco, intendo.
We could use it to raise this town all
Yeah.
too. And I have some suggestions for our candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
Alla vittoria.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Più tardi quella sera alla fortezza... Ah, torniamo da Godwin. No, ma non abbiamo bevuto niente, ragazzi. Perché siamo in queste condizioni? Ma ho evitato di bere apposta per non finire in questo stato e invece alla fine ci siamo caduti di nuovo. Ugualmente. Vabbè. Che cazzarola... Urla? Che cazzarola dobbiamo fare? Festeggia con gli ospiti. Ah. Festeggia con gli ospiti e parla con Winchester. Come cazzarola si chiama? Vabbè, ragazzi. Si è fatta abbastanza lunga, quindi direi che questo è un buon momento per fermarci e continueremo al prossimo episodio. Voi come sempre fatemi sapere la vostra, lasciate like, condividete, iscrivetevi al canale sempre se vi fa piacere e noi ci vediamo alla prossima. Ciao a tutti.